Mr. Mallett.
Lee Mallett. Mr. Lee Mallett.
Mr. Mallett.
We can't have a program from the blank without guys like Lee Mallett.
Lee Mallett has been a real big supporter to our basketball program over here at Iowa High School by sponsoring our tournament for the last 5 years. He donated the field house for baseball. He's donated batting cages for baseball.
He built us this awesome batting cage that we have, and he really did help us out a lot. The batting cages are tremendous help, not just for our kids now, but our future generation of kids, because it gives them an opportunity to where we really don't have days off. We can take ground balls underneath. We can constantly have days where we're working and out of the weather. For him to be able to step up and donate it to us was great. It was great for us and great for the school, and it's going to be great for the community and the kids' futures to come.
Mr. Mallett.
Lee Mallett. Mr. Lee Mallett.
Mr. Mallett.
We can't have a program.
Hello, welcome to another session of Sanctuary Live. I'm your host today, Chris McMorris. Today we're going to have our Director of Clinical Services joining us with us. So hit that like button and smash that bell. Mr. David Carrera. David, what's your function over at Sanctuary?
Yeah, I'm David Carrera. I'm a licensed professional counselor. I'm registered with the Board of Examiners in the state of Louisiana. And I'm Director of Clinical Services, which is mainly focused on the counseling department.
Now, how long have you been with Sanctuary?
It's been 1.5 years now.
Okay. What's your story? Tell us a little bit about yourself and your personal journey to Sanctuary.
The story's pretty interesting, how I got to Sanctuary. I left my last job. There's some mismanagement going on there, and I didn't want to be a part of it really. And my last day, I planned to take a couple of weeks off before I searched for something else. And Mr. Morris gave me a phone call. And I had never heard of Sanctuary before. He asked me to come in and interview, and I showed up and started right there in February 2023.
Great. And what's some of the differences? How long have you been in this program? How long have you been in this profession?
20 years. So I've been practicing for 20 years, including, you know, my college experience where we have, you know, we practice there as well, practicums and internships. So 20 years old.
And some of the differences between where you come from and what we provide at Sanctuary, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Primarily, I've worked in mental health. I did work at another treatment center prior to here, but most of my career has been in mental health. What's interesting about Sanctuary is that the vast majority of our clients have co-occurring disorders, which I'm licensed to treat and diagnose. It's not just substance use. You usually have a mental health diagnosis as well, whether it be depression or anxiety, PTSD, we deal with that, just pretty much everything. So you have to treat both at the same time. You can't separate the two because they're feeding each other.
So when you say co-occurring, these are dual diagnosis individuals that both have mental health disorders or diagnoses and substance use disorder?
Right. They have to have substance use disorder, but the vast majority have. That's the reason. A lot of them have substance use disorders. It roots from mental health disorders.
So in your background, is that something that our other ATRs, other competitors, other individuals, other programs out there offer co-occurring treatment?
No, not that I'm aware of. It's more of a work release. We're a treatment first facility. You know, our clients are in a halfway house. They can start employment, but we just don't give them the green light. They got to be fully assessed from a mental health capacity, their abilities to sustain employment, you know, their mental stability, all aspects. So it's often they're delayed in getting a job. Then treatment first. When we determine that they're able, then we the green light to go. And they're still in treatment while they work, so it's both. It's not just one or the other. So we gradually expose them to the stressors of life and the world of work, so they're not overwhelmed. The vast majority of people relapse because they walk out of a 28-day program and are overwhelmed. And they don't have the coping skills to navigate life.
So do other programs offer that 3.1 you called it, or halfway house?
I think we're one of maybe 2 or 3 in the state that I'm aware of. They don't. It's a continuum of care. And there's also another level of care. Being the director of clinical services, I'm involved in all of them. We have an intensive outpatient after they complete the halfway house program. So you're exposed to, at a minimum, probably 8 or 9 months of treatment services. And you're allowed to work as well.
So some of our past guests have talked about that 3.1 or halfway house program, and they mentioned MRT. What can you tell us about MRT?
That is our evidence-based curriculum for our 3.1 level of care halfway house. It's called moral recognition therapy. And as I said, it's evidence-based to reduce recidivism and relapse. It's founded and grounded in cognitive behavioral therapy is the workbook. It comes with a workbook. It's very disciplined structure. There's a goal setting section. One of the rules of it, there's no victim statements. You're not to be a victim of anything. You take empowerment and control over your life. And it's really not process oriented. It's discipline to restructure your thought processes in a healthy way. It works. It does. I don't think very many people offer that as well. But the judicial system, or our judicial clients we serve, they all recognize it, the model. And approve of it. They want MRT in our programs.
One of the things that's unique about our programs, is there any other thing that's very unique about what Sanctuary has to offer to clients that come in with substance use disorder and mental health?
Well, we have, of course, we have a wonderful medical department. They see a psychiatric nurse practitioner. We have a beautiful nursing staff. They're the most caring people I've ever met. You know, the clients are treated with dignity and respect, which they're not really accustomed to be honest. coming out of the streets or being incarcerated, they're not treated with dignity and respect by their peers in there, for sure. So that's one of the most beautiful things to watch. When they come in our high intensity level of care, the 3.5, their life is pretty much a disaster in all aspects, emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually. They're spiritually bankrupt. Emotionally, it takes a while to stabilize at 3.5, and that's why it's high intensity. It's that stabilization point. So from start to finish, when they start working and become self-supporting, you will notice a physical difference in their self-esteem. It is apparent. I like to show the clients, as I said, in all levels of care, their photo when they admit, we have to have that for their records. And when they leave, I will show them that photo, and they are astounded at the change they've seen in their physical appearance, the way their facial expressions are, the pride they have. They're a tax-paying citizen again. They're being productive and self-supporting, and it's breaking that cycle of substance use and incarceration. They're getting out of incarceration, going back to substance use, going back to incarceration. It's a vicious cycle, and we get them out of it.
So are all your counselors MRT certified?
There's 3 of us right now. They're MRT certified, which is plenty for our needs right now, but they will be. The rest of them, they're scheduled to be certified in MRT. It's extensive training. To get certified, I had to work the program. I had to work the workbook. And to be honest, there's some things I saw in me that I needed to work on. They came out of here, and I'm in recovery, and I've been sober 18 years. So still, these character defects popped out that I had to work on. It's a very provoking model. You're going to do the emotional work on your own. All your stuff is going to come up, right? The stuff that's been holding you back all your life, whether it happened in childhood or whatever, we're going to work on it, work through it.
So you mentioned in your discussion just now that a lot of our clients are judicially ordered to us, and when they get into the MRT program, judges like that part of the program.
They do. It's recognized nationwide. It's recognized.
It has a national recognition to it. So when we make these reports, do you make reports back to the courts on?
I do, and maybe that's a misconception. The judges we work with, people are just not released to us, and they're forgotten about. We're in constant communication with the judges. I write a lot of the reports about their status, how they're doing, how they're progressing or not progressing at times. Occasionally that happens, but most of our clients are making progress, and we're in constant communication, updating them. A lot of the judicial clients go to status hearings with the judges and physical presentation. And they have that report in their hands, something concrete, and with a licensed signature on it. I'm not going to risk my license with the state by writing false documentation. So it's valid.
So if they're not progressing along, do you just give up on them, or do you find alternative places for individuals? How does that work? No,
it takes a whole lot for us to give up on somebody. Motivation is key, and we'll find alternative ways to motivate them. We don't want them motivated by the judicial system. We want them self-motivated. So we're helping them to make that switch. When they're sent to us through the judicial system, it's kind of like, oh, well, I have to be here. But all of a sudden, when they start getting our therapy groups, especially in high intensities, no, I want to be here. I want to be in recovery. I want to change my life. I want to be a productive member. I want to be a good parent, a good father. We're a male-only facility. I want to be a good family member. I want to be a good employee, and they get jobs, and many of our clients stay in the same jobs that they obtain through us post-treatment. So they're re-entering society and being successful. We've got a lot of success stories out there. And it's not the people going just through 28 days. 28 days is not really going to fix years of addiction and substance use. It takes longer. The guys that stick around longer, they have great success rates with us.
So the MRT program really does, in your opinion, I mean, I can tell you in my tenure at Sanctuary, the MRT program has truly enhanced the workforce program in terms of individuals being productive in workforce. Is that what you're seeing?
It is, because it really drills down on your personal values. And part of those are dedication, loyalty, honesty. Honest days work for honest days pay. It drills in these values and it shows up in their employment. So, and these are the guys we have. They're great guys. They really are. I love them all. They have an illness. And that's the truth. The illness causes them to get into criminal behavior and all these things. But once they get healthy, that goes away. Right. And MRT is super important, especially even towards the end where you're setting goals for your future. It's not just a goal, it's detailed and oriented with specific steps you have to take for success.
So would you say that when they come out of the residential treatment program and they go into it's inpatient treatment halfway, and now they graduate into the workforce program, is that where it stops?
No, it keeps going. They have to be in treatment in our 3.1 halfway house in the workforce program. They have to be in treatment and working. It can be a daunting task, but the guys step up to the plate. We put treatment first, like I mentioned before. We do put treatment first. If they're having a rough time, we might pull them back from the workforce even for them to get more treatment, address some of their deficiencies, and then put them back in their jobs. So we don't give up on the clients at all. You have to really go out of your way to leave us. You really do. We'll take on the toughest cases that the youth system has, and we believe in it, and we believe in what we do. And some of the guys that no one would ever dream of having a successful life are there. They show up.
Okay. So once they come into the workforce program, they qualify for what's the next program after that?
That's our 2.1 level of care, which is our intensive outpatient program.
IOP. Okay.
IOP.
What do you learn in IOP?
So it's 9 hours, a minimum of 9 hours a week of group therapy. And there are 3-hour groups that we do 3 times a week. They also have individual sessions in there. And with every level of care, we have a treatment plan with specific goals and objectives that's individualized, not just cookie cutter for you. This is what will work for you. And we're going to specialize towards that end for them to be successful. So there you go back more into process. You're learning life skills is driven there. We're encouraging people, a lot of our guys will go into Genesis Life Sober Living homes, where there, again, it's a gradual exposure back into normal life. You still have the support of Sanctuary Louisiana. You still have the services of Sanctuary Louisiana, including medication management. But at the same time, we're pushing you set up your future, to set up your primary care physician for when you leave us, to have medication management set up before you leave us, to have individual counseling if that's what you need before you leave us.
So are they learning that in the sober living program?
They do.
So in the IOP, they're qualified for sober living. What is sober living?
Sober living is I'll speak to our sober living because there is a difference between ours and other sober livings.
Thank you.
Our sober livings, they're very structured. We're doing drug tests on the clients consistently. They're on their own. They pay their own rent. They cook their own food. They have their own home. We still provide the transportation for them to and back from their work place of work. So we have eyes on them a lot. Even on the days they don't have group, we still have eyes on them. In the event, and this is rare, but in the event that someone does encounter a slip or a relapse in the use, we know really quick with our drug testing system, and we pull them back into treatment. You missed something somewhere along the line. You missed something, and we're going to figure it out and get it right, and then get them grounded back in their recovery and send them back. in our sober living, that's rare. Other sober livings, I can speak to that. You have a slip or a relapse, it's to hit the street. That basically is what it is. Get out. And there's no plan. You're going to be homeless. You're not going to have appointments set up like we do. You're not going to have the life skills. No one's teaching you those things in other sober livings. You know, if you have a money management problem, we're here to help you with that. You know, we're not going to get into your specific amount of money, but we'll tell you how to budget your money, how to be successful. The things that, you know, most adults know how to do. One thing about substance use, it prevents normal development. Substance become your coping skill. That is your coping skill for everything. If you're angry, you use. Okay? If you're sad, you drink. That's your coping skill. Now we take that away, and you're really left with no coping skills at all. And throughout all these levels of care, you're learning all these skills they'll apply that other adults have developed normally, just being exposed to life,
Right.
not hiding in a bottle or you know, using drugs to deal with stuff. So they have to be taught and learned, internalized, and used. And we're really good at that. Every group we have is touching on some coping skill that they need.
So when they reach the sober living program, they're really starting to exit out. Is that where we just leave them from there, or do we find other supports for them?
No, we get them engaged in 12-step programs, whether that be Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, there's Celebrate Recovery. There's a lot of 12-step programs. We're doing that before they even get to sober living. We have meetings, Narcotics Anonymous and Alcoholics Anonymous, on our grounds the clients are going to. So they're getting exposure. We're encouraging them to get a sponsor. When they complete everything completely, they have that support group in place. They know where to go, what to do, who to talk to. And they know they can walk into these rooms and immediately around people with the same problems they have. So it's a tremendous support group. And Sanctuary never says goodbye. We want you to keep calling us. Tell us about your life and your successes. Yeah, we want to hear from our clients. It's not like we're discharging you and go about your way. We really have a healthy community, and then a lot of these guys stay in contact with us. I get phone calls all the time at the office. I mean, people tell me, Dave, things are going great. I just wanted you to know. I'm like, you were here like a year ago. And they're like, yes, but I just wanted you to know things are going great. And a lot of times they thank me, and that's not the truth. I tell them, no, you did the work. You put the hard work in. Take credit for what you have done. You've taken control of your life, getting this empowerment we talk about, and now you're thriving. You take credit for that. And of course, we address spirituality in all our programs as well. That it's not just you, it's you and your higher power of your understanding that's doing this.
So you and your staff coordinate these supports even after they get out of any program or any treatment program?
We do. When they leave, they will have a printed list of meetings in their area. Now, we take people from all over the state. So I know how to access, and all our counselors know how to access meetings. There's phone apps that could do it. And we'll give you the addresses, phone numbers, where the meetings are held, what times they're held. It's comprehensive. So
Comprehensive part of the program, absolutely.
You know, so some clients come from very far away to Sanctuary, Louisiana, seeking help.
Well, I know as much as today you were receiving a call from Minden,
Right.
Louisiana, which is pretty far north of us. And the judge and the DA and the PD, public defender, all read about our program and is now sending an individual to us. And it speaks to the volume of the quality of the care of the individuals that's coming to us, and that the message is getting out there. One of the things I would ask you is that, you know, if you had to delineate one of the best parts of our program versus the other ATRs that are out there, what would that single thing be, or would it be more than just one thing that you would say?
Well, there's a lot of things. One thing I can say about the staff I work with, and I love them, is that they're genuine, very authentic people, and they actually care and love these clients. It's not just counseling and you're sitting in front of them. We develop this rapport and relationship with them, but it's actually somebody cares about them. And to be honest, a lot of our clients come into our program without that, with no one loving them or caring about them. They've been cut off, and we give them that. And they could tell when someone genuinely cares.
So
it makes all the difference in the world.
The credentials of your staff, are they generally greater than others?
Yes, all of our staff's credentialed, and our counseling team and our medication department. So we have addictions counselors, we have myself, a licensed professional counselor, we have LPNs, RNs working. So we're highly qualified individuals. It's not easy to get these certifications and licensures for certification for MRT. The licensure, I'm a master's level provider, so I have a master's degree. We have another clinician that has a master's degree. So we have the education as well as the life experiences to help them.
So, in your opinion, do you find that we hold a higher credentialing standard than some of the ARTs that are out there,
Yes.
ATRs that are out there?
Yes, you don't. I don't see a lot of credentialing in other programs.
Okay.
Or a lot of access to mental health or substance use.
So in your IOP, you have some licensed counselors in there?
We do. We have. They're social workers. They're licensed master social workers. They're also master's level counselors. So as 4 master's levels clinicians we have right now, and we're growing. We are growing.
So is that program only exclusive to individuals in sanctuary, or is that open to others that could inquire about getting into our IOP program?
So just the name itself, intensive outpatient, it's an outpatient program. People outside that don't come through the other levels of care, maybe it might be their first stop or first exposure to treatment. They don't have to live or reside at the facility. They can come to our IOP program and start there. And the same skills they will learn as they would in high intensity. Generally what we see is that IOP is a first stop for a lot of people. They will try an outpatient, and if they're not succeeding there, then they go into our high intensity. So where it's more intensive services. But we're definitely open to the public. We're not just judicial, we have a lot of volunteers that come to our program. They've heard about who we are and what we do, and they want to come, and they want to be there, and they stay.
Well, I'll tell you, in the short time that I've been with them, with the IOP program, I've noticed that industry's starting to contact us with their employee assistance program, where they are asking us to start working with the employees as a part of a treatment program for them, that they don't have to go into the inpatient setting, but we were able to use those credentials and use those individuals in the employee assistance program. So we do have industry that's out there that has contacted us. We do contract with several of them, and want to continue to work through that with those individuals. And if you are an industry that's out there right now and interested in giving us a call at 337-936-9197, give us a call. We'll be happy to talk to you about our EAP program and how it could benefit you from that. Well, David, I thank you for giving me the time and coming here, talking to us about your program. We're certainly proud of everything that's going on at Sanctuary. I believe we are making a difference in that. And please, just remember, we are here to serve. Give us a call, 337-936-9197. We're Sanctuary, Louisiana, and we're here to serve.